is up, y'all? This is Papa Scarce, and welcome to For Mother Matron. This is like a visual, psychological horror game. You make choices along as you go, and depending on your choices, good or even worse, terrible things can happen. This game contains graphic content that is not suitable for children or those that are easily disturbed. Player discretion is advised. Yeah, for all of you wussies out there, the Mother Matron loves you and considers your health incredibly important. The pessimist's credo, or one of them, is that non-existence never hurt anyone, and existence hurts everyone. Thomas Ligotti, The Conspiracy Against Identity. My consciousness swirls in an inky black river of nothing. It feels familiar. I've been here before. And every time I am here, I always think it's going to last forever. And yet, wakefulness. Somehow my consciousness stirs. Where am I? I feel so strange. Deeply numb and lost, almost. I rack my brain trying to make sense of things. Questions that should have obvious answers, none come to me. Questions such as, where am I? Who am I? What has happened to me? What do I know? I know I exist. I know I breathe. I know this room is disgustingly warm despite its cold, cold walls. I know that horrible wet sound is driving me mad. I was about to say the same thing. I know red blood flows through my veins. I know my heart pumps that blood beat by beat. I know the inside of my stomach bubbles and burns with acid. I know my bladder feels like it's about to burst, filled with urine. I know my intestines pipe shit through over a meter of contracting meat tubes coiled in my belly. Okay? Never looked at it like that. But not much else. I don't remember what distinguishes me from any other sack of meat. I rack my brain. I reach back as far as my mental arm can reach underneath the old shelf full of baggage that writhes unpleasantly and glares at me, despite having no eyes that I can perceive. The weight of this shelf is crushing my arm. The act of recalling is in itself painful. It would be easier to just leave it all there, in the dark where it might be forgotten forever. Just like most of the people that were sent down there into those hopeless tunnels. To the place I lost myself and everything. But no, I won't forget. I have to remember, or no one else will. I reach back further. The weight of a sharp corner starts to scrape layers of skin as I reach further in. ... Finally, my mental hand clasps around something, a small and soft object that compresses under my fingers. I pull my arm out from under the shelf. The sharp corners gouge my arm open. A crimson river runs rapid and splashes onto the floor. Except, how? My arms never moved. I'm not even bleeding. So I'm not human? I felt it though. I felt my skin shredding. I heard the sound. I can even still feel the object between my fingertips. What am I holding? Why? It was just what I was looking for. It's a memory. It's small and hovers like faint smoke in the air, but it's a start, a pathway to more. Yes, I'm starting to remember now. Lizzie, that's it. That's my name. My name is Lizzie. It's nice to meet you. That's only a start of the breadcrumb trail, though. I have to follow it. It's easier to live through a memory when you can share it with somebody. You'll listen, won't you? You'll help me retrace my steps? Yes. Good. Good. Oh, but where to begin? Where should the dark fade? Where should I?
Wake up!
Huh?
Finally! Jeez, you were out cold, Liz.
What? I was covered in sweat, my eyes darting around like flies to figure out my surroundings. I was in the hangover of a deep dream that clung to me like glue. In front of me was the blurry shape of a person, a boy, a young man, male at least. He's staring at me with concern and frustration. My teacher? Where am I? Who are you? He frowns at me.
You really were out there to the world, huh? You're at the workshop, Lizzie. In Pack Rat, where you work. And I'm technically your boss, though I like to think we're all on the same team here. My name is Fred.
Thought I would already knew that.
Starting to ring any bells yet?
No. Oh, right. And, what do I do? Looking at him now, Fred gives me the impression of a chubby bear. His face almost has a snout. His nose twitches back and forth when he's not talking. Maybe it's dust irritating his nostrils. He pinches the bridge of his nose and closes his eyes.
Please tell me you're kidding.
I suppose even with no memory, it's not that hard to deduce. There's sewing machines throughout the room, and I'm seated at one. Clearly I sew. I think I may even have sewn the sweater I'm wearing. I must be good at it too. It's soft and comfy. Then again, I could see little scars speckled on my fingers. Were they scars of experience or scars of clumsiness? Let's say it was the former. I let out a little chuckle and smile. Yeah, I am. Had you going there, huh? In truth, I was only half kidding, but I hoped I'd start remembering the other parts once I woke up more. Fred didn't find the joke quite as funny.
You people sometimes.
People? What you calling people?
Tell you what, Lizzie. You're clearly running low on steam. I really shouldn't do this, but you need the rest. The Mother Matron won't appreciate your slacking. Perhaps you can make it up in the coming weeks. Go home, get some sleep. Maybe stop by Spruce's clinic too. Get a checkup. You have 2 days off, max.
Okay. I'll go home. Except, where was home? Wake up, me! I sat there for a moment, trying to remember where to go. ... Okay, the voice in my head, I don't know why I'm putting it as like an evil voice, but just roll with me.
Lizzie! Go!
Yes, sir. Warily, I stumble out of the workshop. I feel exhausted to my bones, aches and throbbing pain deeply seated in my flesh. There is a dreamlike haze resting on the world around me. It feels unfamiliar. Clearly, this is a place I should know. This is apparently where I work. And yet, I have no idea where I am. I rack my brain and I pat my pockets, hoping to find a clue. Fortunately for me, there is one. A small notebook. I open it and thumb through. Bits and pieces are starting to come back to me as my eyes scan the scattered diary entries, notes, and doodles. I finally find the most helpful page. Right, I remember better now. The boss was correct. I was in Pack Rat right now, named so because of how densely filled the area is. Every building here is some kind of workshop or storage zone. Some places here are packed so full that you barely can walk around them. Though fortunately, the place I worked was roomier. More broadly speaking, I'm in the boarding, the town, city I call home. A secluded place enclosed in makeshift walls made from whatever was available: scrap metal, old furniture, repurposed rubble. Outside the walls, an endless miasma of fog that obscures things. No one really seen what's out there, and anyone that's attempted to explore the mists have never returned. If I had to describe this place, I guess I'd say it's like half-empty glass filled with dirty water. The glass is fragile, too. Does that make any sense? Somewhat. Well, it does to me, anyways. I agreed with you. More important than metaphors, though, I know where home is now, and I could feel it deep in my bones that I needed to sleep. Though, the detail on the map leaves something to be desired. Things past me. I'll figure it out. My memory is just hazy from being so tired. And so I pick a direction and start walking. The winding streets don't make much sense to me, but I follow them all the same. I am alone, but muffled voices keep me company. Sometimes muffled sobs, too. I try not to focus much on them. I think I used to in the past, but my heart couldn't take it. Nothing I can do even if I want to anyways. Everyone's got to do something for the collective. Everyone's got their jobs, as I have mine. Whatever the Mother Matron needs of us, my shoes are old and worn, only offering a meek defense against the hard asphalt streets. They fit well though, and the ground is dry today. They get the job done. They're like everyone here in a lot of ways. Doesn't matter how weathered you are, the fact you're still together means something in you is strong enough to keep you together. May your spirit grow like the calluses on working hands, calluses, or on the soles of your feet, so the Mother Matron says. In other words, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. You grow through adversity, and by the end of everything, you're the best person you can be. Gives all the hard parts of your life a kind of silver lining, or at least that's what I take from it. Squeak! My thoughts are interrupted by a lump beneath my shoe and the panicked yelp of a small rodent. I lift my foot and the thing scurries back under the grate beneath my feet. There below the street is a tunnel full of thousands and thousands of rats scurrying for dear life through endless canals. I doubt the poor things even know where they're going. The one I stepped on somehow managed to climb its way up out of the grating, only for my clumsiness to scare it back where it came. Kinda felt awful inside for that. Throughout the boarding is a network of tunnels designed to funnel the endless swarm of rats underneath our feet. No one knows where the little critters all come from, but they flow like water beneath the streets. Thousands upon thousands of rats compacted against each other, covered in filth and God knows what else. Waste matter clumped in their fur. Our primary source of protein. Some kids have to fish for rats, sorting through ones that are too sick and diseased to eat and ones healthy enough for consumption. The yield is never particularly high, and the rats never particularly taste good unless you know how to prepare them. The one I stepped on had to have been rather spry, the poor thing. Could only hope maybe my unintentional intervention gave it more time before some kid impaled it on a stick and roasted it. What? Blah. I don't want to think about this anymore. I decided to keep walking to Spruce's clinic. Hello? Spruce? You here?
Yes, I'll be right there. Stitching someone up back here. Please, take a seat.
I sit down on a stiff chair with minimal padding. It makes my tailbone ache, but I'll endure it. Spruce is known as the resident healer of the boarding. She taught herself by reading pharmacological and medical books she found in the library, as well as through experimentation. This isn't to say there aren't any others that try their hand at medicine, but to put it simply, none of them are as good as Spruce. If she can't fix you up, you're out of luck. She walks in the room.
Ah, Lizzie. Been a while. Those are some dark bags under your eyes. Working long hours? Not sleeping lately?
Not really. Guess not. I passed out at work today. Fred told me I should see you. She rolls her eyes and gives a fake laugh.
Ah, of course he would. You have to be sick. It can't be his fault at all, right? Jerkwad. Let's give you a checkup anyways. Follow me to the exam room.
A small joke, as the exam room is just across from where I am sitting. She gestures for me to sit on one of the beds, and after doing so, she does her usual routine. Checks my blood pressure, pulse, shines a light down my ear, nose, and mouth, lightly strikes a mallet on my knee. I look around the room, noticing that it's gone under some renovation since I last visited. I'm amazed you found the time to decorate the place. It's looking good.
Oh, thanks. I squeeze in a little here and there. Usually when I have to watch someone close while they sleep.
That's a creepy way of putting it.
Oh, you know what I mean. Folks in recovery. At least a few people that experience seizures. Stuff like that. Anyways, I'm proud of how it's looking. Genuinely can't believe I found that poster in such nice condition. I'm happy with how the Phoenix has turned out too.
I look towards the bony fellow at the side of the room. What about him? Is that a real skeleton? Spruce checks my heartbeat and my lungs using a stethoscope.
Nah, it's plastic. A patient that scavs and junks a lot gave it to me as a thank you. Trust me, if I wanted to get a real skeleton, I wouldn't have to look very hard.
What does that mean?
Really wish I had a skull, though.
She nods and puts down the stethoscope.
Everything seems good from what I can see. But that's just what I can see. Tell me how you're doing. Anything odd lately? Odd sensations, pain, nausea, shortness of breath, stuff like that?
I'm a little sore, but I think that's just from overworking. Maybe bad posture and being tired. I've also been seeing things.
What kind of things?
You know, meat and ovulating stuff. Sometimes I'll be standing there and the world suddenly shifts. Like right before my eyes, it turns into something horrible. Horrible sounds. Flesh growing where it shouldn't be. Things that aren't really there. My heart starts beating really fast and I freeze, terrified, and just like that, the world's back to normal, and I'm panicking over nothing. My dreams are really strange too. You don't believe me, do you? She shakes her head. Wasn't what she meant.
I actually do believe you. Just thinking. Wish I could say this is the first time I've heard something like that, but...
But?
Well, some of the mumblers I'm taking care of now said stuff like that. Before they turned.
Before they turned? Really?
Yeah. Can I trust you to keep a secret? I'm only telling you because I think it's important you know.
Sure. Can we go back to before they turned?
Contrary to what people think, the Crepuscule isn't the only place where mumblers are made. Not anymore, at least.
You're kidding.
Not in the slightest. Granted, people have broken down before around the boarding. You know that. Lots of our neighbor brothers and sisters struggle with feelings of anxiety and depression. But this is different. Mumblerism, or whatever you want to call it, is a much more rare and severe thing. It's like a complete detachment from reality. People stuck in a looping nightmare that never ends. And all they can do about it is ramble.
That's... Mother, help us. And it's happening around here now? Why haven't I heard about this?
As I said, it's really rare. I only have a few cases out of all the people I treat. And if the AC gang's been dealing with any, they sure aren't sharing. I'm trying to keep it under wraps, as I haven't gotten to study enough people to get a grasp of the emerging symptoms or causes. And I don't want people to panic. Mumblers already don't get the best treatment by most people. Imagine how people would be if they jumped to the conclusion that they're contagious.
I can see what you mean.
To be clear, I don't want you to jump to the conclusion that that's happening to you. You might simply be having sleep deprivation-induced hallucinations. Or maybe some gas from junks is making the air a little funny. Hell, maybe the shit you...
She sops herself for my sake.
I mean, shipyard. Is just more rank than usual. I thought it important to warn you, though. For now, I'll give you some medicine that should help with the anxiety. Stop back for regular checkups, and we can keep an eye on it. See how it develops.
What's gonna be in it?
It's a mixture of lavender, valerian, lemon balm, St. John's wort, and some other stuff that makes it taste good. My latest and so far most effective concoction. Or so my patients tell me.
Thanks, Spruce.
Anything else worrying you today?
No, I think that's it. Fred gave me some days off to go sleep, so I'll go do that once I leave.
Alright, that's good. I don't see anything else abnormal with you, so I think we're done. Oh, I'll give you some tea that you can drink that can help you fall asleep if you have trouble, just in case. While I go get stuff together for you, can you run that bucket of food over there to the shack out back?
The Mumbler Shack? Yeah, that's what I'm... What?
Yeah. It's about lunchtime, and they need to eat. Would you mind?
No, not at all. No, I don't.
Great, thanks. There's keys hanging up by the door.
Why would I be doing your job? I grab the bucket, which is full of some carefully assembled sandwiches wrapped in paper and bottles of water. I exit through the back door, which leads to a small yard with a small, roughly shed-sized building, maybe slightly larger than that. I've never liked coming back here, as ashamed as I am to say. It's always good to help the mumblers, but... I mean, I can kind of hear them from here. It's very unsettling. Just endless word salad. You try to parse what they're saying. You get these horrible vignettes of misery that you wish you could unhear. They can't help it though, and I shouldn't feel threatened even if I find it uncomfortable. Mumblers are harmless. I repeat that to myself as I unlock the shack door and enter.
There's no sky and there's rain. The water flows, and where the water flows, so does the blood. Where the blood pools, the flies gather. They gather there and at the waist. They buzz around the bodies. Where dignity has been soiled. It smells rotten.
Inside is somewhat cramped, but generally well-kept bunk room. Some bodies are sleeping, others are sitting upright on the bed or standing near the corners. I was distracted, guys. None of them noticed me. They're lost in their own nightmare loops. Gosh, poor things. I really wish I knew how to help them. These people deserve better. Most of them were hand-selected by Mother Matron to brave the horrors of the crepuscle, a labyrinth of darkness that lies beneath our home, full of terrors that are kept at bay by a locked tunnel. No one really knows why the Mother Matron sends people down there or what they end up finding, but you can see the effect it has, at least on the ones that made it back home alive. I shudder to consider what could have happened to the poor souls that didn't return. I can only hope that they passed on peacefully, and whatever ended them was swift and painless. I ponder almost if that end would be preferable to what the mumblers go through now. They're alive, but can you call this living? And these ones here in Spruce's care are the lucky ones. Many don't get the help they need. Some are hurt, bullied, killed at least once. People call them wastes of space, drains on our ever-dwindling resources, mouths to feed that can't contribute anything meaningful, or people say. But they're people. They didn't choose this to be so broken. They need help. They need love. I would want people to take care of me if I end up like this. I don't know. Maybe that line of thinking will lead us to starve to death someday. What the heck? Crack whose head open with that?
On the floor along with the egg whites.
Would my morality hold up when my body is dying from weeks of no food? Can I eat the concept of doing the right thing? I would like to think, though, that it's preferable to die because of good things you did rather than to survive because you gave up your humanity and compassion. At least right now, I feel like that's the choice I would make. Anyways, I've been kind of standing here holding a bucket of sandwiches and water for a while I was lost in thought. My arm is shouting at me to give it a break. I drop the bucket in the middle of the room. Do they come get the sandwiches and water themselves? Is Spruce feed it to them later? Question I will seek an answer to another day. I leave, gently closing the door behind me. I get my medicines from Spruce on the way out of the shed and head home. Feeling my body already starting to power down, I walk through the door to a house, ready to throw myself on the mattress before something catches my eye and freezes me in my step. Resting on top of my bed was a paper envelope with a red wax seal, emblazoned with the matron's symbol. My heart sank to the bottom of a deep, dark canyon inside me, and bile began to bubble and churn violently in my stomach. I reached to pick up the envelope, hoping that this was an illusion, a trick of the light. It wasn't. It was real. As real as can be. The letters with the red wax seal were a legend amongst kids in the boarding. They say it's the worst, most horrible piece of paper you could ever own in your entire life. I undid the seal and removed the letter inside. I unfolded it. My eyes darted back and forth, scanning the page. It reads as follows. My dear child.
Oh, my dear child. The very thought of you warms me so. Seeing you and your siblings grow through the years is always my special delight. I give so much of myself every day to ensure you all remain safe and secure inside these walls. Alas, I cannot do everything on my own. Every so often, I must rely on my children's support to do what must be done for the collective good, even if it means sending my darlings into the jaws of danger. This letter is to inform you that you have been personally selected to become a surveyor. This is a title of great honor, bestowed upon those that will brave the depths of the crepuscule for your Mother Matron's pride, as well as the continued survival of the boarding.
Crepuscule.
You will be paired with 2 boys named Pucks and Rich. As soon as you receive this letter, you are to meet with them, make preparations for your journey below, and visit me at my dwelling in Mother's Tower. Attempts to shirk your duty will be met with severe punishment. I will see you soon, my dear, with all the love in the world. Your Mother Matron.
She doesn't seem too nice. I stare at the letter. My legs begin to wobble. My hands start tremor. The letter floats up to the ground, like the way they describe leaves in books. I start breathing fast and hard. My entire body quakes. My eyes roll to the back of my skull as I pass out and collapse on the floor. I'm back here. Did I die? Was that everything? Was that the end of my memories? Kind of abrupt, to be honest.
Did you ever hear the story about the girl in the sweater? No. Of course not. It's still being written. I hear it gets dynamite quizzing. I'm so excited.
Okay. What is this thing?
What am I? What are you? What is anything?
This creature can hear my thoughts.
Everything and anything were nothing once. Then they became something. I think things would have been better if they stayed as nothing. The disease called existing is widespread and cancerous. Extremely virulent. It infected everything that was nothing and forced it to deal with the pain of being. Forcing things that exist to be happy that they exist. Manipulative. Terrible. But enough about things.
Pardon my language, but what the fuck is this thing talking about? And why does it kind of look like me? Ignoring my confusion, the creature steps around me and outside of my vision. It fiddles with something behind me. The slurping sound grows faster. This world fades again. I'm awake again, deeply confused but awake. I sit there on the ground, frozen for a while before reality hits me again. I'm gonna stop doing that voice. I stare at the painting on my wall. It's hurting. The Mother Matron. Out of every person here that could ever have been selected, she ends up picking me. My mind is back to the mumblers in Spruce's clinic. Them and the endless droning madness that consumed everything about them. Entire people with dreams and personalities erased by trauma. Why? Why me? I think back to how I was supposed to work in a few days. How I was supposed to visit Spruce again. To make sure I was better. To keep living longer. No matter what I wanted to do, the decision was made for me. Mother needed me. I was not the kind of person that wanted to find out what happened when Mother's disappointed. But where to begin? After some thinking, I decided a good place to start would be by asking my neighbor sisters. They're a pair of twins named Janine and Katie. I'd like to think we're pretty good friends, and I was glad to have them as my neighbors. I approached their front stoop. Katie was reading from a book with a faded cover while her sister painted her nails with jet black nail polish.
Hey, Katie! Hey, Janine!
Now you talk?
Hey, Lizzie!
Hey, Lizzie.
You seem chipper. I thought you'd be more gloomy. What do you mean?
She didn't talk before.
Oh, well, I saw the poster come by and drop something off at your place. They don't come by that often.
Why?
Surprise, the mailboy doesn't want to visit the shit zone.
Oh, I didn't explain that, did I? Well, you saw on the map that my home is in a place called the Shipyard, right? It's not actually called that. See, it's actually named after the fact that this area is where the majority of the sewage and waste is discarded. I'm sure you could guess what the actual name is, knowing that. Cursing makes me feel bad, though. So I call it the Shipyard instead. You absolutely cannot evade the smell here. It's awful. Sticks to everything like a film. I've gotten mostly nose blind to it at this point, fortunately, though sometimes I still have to break out the perfume.
Is it one of those letters? Yeah. Red seal. Oh, no. No!
Ouch, hope you don't die or lose your mind.
Janine!
What? Just being real. It was nice knowing you.
Don't be so insensitive!
It's okay. I'm still processing things, but I'm holding it together. I still have things to do before I go.
Anything we can help with?
Yeah, don't be such a benign person. Should I ask them anything? Okay, our first choices now. Any advice? Do you know anything about the crypt? No, I can find.
Lucky you. I had a phase where I read nothing but books about surveyors. Just in case I ever got picked, you know? The Mother Matron wrote some books on them that you can find at the library. If you know where to look, there's also unauthorized books about them that were put together by people who knew the surveyors before they left.
I wish I had time to go read them.
Honestly, they're kind of dry and sad. Probably better to get the highlights from someone else. Best advice I can give you? Preparation is key. Try to be ready for everything and anything. Also bring something sharp. Hope that helps.
Yes.
Okay. Thanks.
Do you know anything about the crypt
Sorry,
school?
I don't think I know much more than you, I'm afraid.
Yeah, the books never really went into what's down there. Mother Matron never really talks about it other than how dangerous it is. There's not any first-hand accounts of it to go off of. The most anyone seems to know is that it's like an endless series of tunnels with dangerous creatures inside. Some people say the crepuscule is constantly shifting and morphing, almost as if it's alive. But that's just a rumor. Again, no first-hand accounts.
Hey, what's the Mother Matron like? Janine gives me a puzzled
I thought you
look.
were a fan of hers.
A fair point. I guess it's odd for someone that has a frame painting of a person to not know much about them.
I mean, I look up to her and read the scriptures like most everyone else, but it's different than meeting her in person.
She nods understandingly, then shrugs.
Fair enough. Unfortunately, I've never met her, so I wouldn't know.
Katie shrugs with an apologetic expression. She also has never met her. Know where I can find Pucks and or Rich?
Nope. Can't say I know them. Katie?
Me neither, sorry. Maybe you should ask around the market? I'm sure someone there would know. Maybe try meeting Marissa. She's a little, odd. But you'd be surprised what kind of information she can dig up.
Don't recommend trying her cuts, though, unless you've got a barf bag.
Why is she called Meaty Marissa?
Because she sells weird meat.
Oh. I thought there'd be more to it for some reason.
You thought she was fat.
What more do you need in a name?
Okay, now I'm trying to get all the dialogue because there's supposed to be multiple endings in this. So I want to make sure that I'm not missing anything. What are you reading, Katie? I can't help my curiosity. I don't know how relevant it will be to me, but I want to know. I try to peer over her shoulder and read the book along with her, but the position's awkward. Katie can't help but notice. Katie looks up at me, smiles, and shrugs as to say, "It's nothing that interesting, but go ahead." She hands me the book, keeping her hand on the page where she was on. I grab it, holding it in the same spot so she wouldn't lose her place. The cover is nondescript, save for some initials on the spine. It might have had a dust jacket or something before that bore the title, but that's long gone, I'm sure. I have a hard time following it. Lots of names I don't recognize. Something about someone named Nix and people or creatures. Hard to tell without the context they gave birth to and the people that those children gave birth to. Must be some kind of fantasy novel or something. Doubt it has much relevance to my situation, or if it does, I sure cannot see it. It wouldn't. I smile and hand the book back to Katie. Okay? You guys can have my stuff when I leave. I'm not gonna do that one, okay? I'm just gonna, I have everything I need.
Right. Thank you guys for your help. I should get going.
There's a lump in my throat. I swallow and talk through it.
It was really nice knowing you guys.
Suddenly, Katie embraces me tightly. After a moment, she looks at me, twinkling, moist eyes, with twinkling.
Lizzie, you better come back. I'll never forgive you if you don't.
She holds me for a moment longer, burying her face in my chest before she can stain it with tears. She pulls back. I can't think of the right words to say, so I simply smile at her and say thank you. Janine simply gives me a gentle wave. It's subtle, but I know there's something that she rarely does for me.
Take care, Lizzie. We'll be rooting for you.
So I'm guessing the people that go to Mother Matron in the crepuscule do not come back alive. The atmosphere was chaotic as people rushed in and out to buy food and other supplies with their allowance. I felt my senses bombarded by the endless chatter and the myriad of smells, many of which were quite unpleasant, and I lived near a sewer. Through the crowd, I slipped to what I hoped was the west side of the market. I tried to keep my eyes above the crowd to find the mysterious, meaty Marissa character. I found her quickly, or rather, I heard her.
Fresh meat! Fresh meat! Come and get your fresh meat! Come one, come all. Tired of rathead cheese? Absolutely sick of fly patties? Come try the most unique cuts of meat you can find in the boarding. Flavor beyond comprehension.
What kind of world are we living in? Then she finds me, her eyes locking on me like a hawk.
You there, the beautiful lady with the sweater. Come, come, try Meanie Marissa's signature cuts.
Named Penny. Against my better judgment, I stepped toward the stand. I'm pretty sure I found her, but I asked anyway for confirmation. You're not talking now? So, you're meeting Marissa. I've been looking for you.
Ah, I see my reputation precedes me. Another eager customer looking for the most scrumptious, sumptuous, munchous meat. You won't be disappointed.
No, actually, before I say anything, the strange girl dangles a big fat slab of meat in front of my face. Ew.
Feast your eyes before you feast. Once you get a glimpse of my cuts, you won't stop drooling. Don't worry, I provide for your napkins.
Looks disgusting. The strange slab of flesh in front of me has kind of a marbling and grayness to it that's downright repulsive to the core. My stomach immediately twists itself into knots. What kind of meat is that? Why is she not talking now?
I told you! It's the tastiest and most unique meat in the market.
That doesn't explain anything. No, I mean, like, where is it from?
From my supply, of course. You think I resell other people's cuts? Ha! The nerve.
It would have to come from somewhere. No, what I mean is that doesn't look like rat meat. or any other kind of meat I've seen. Come to think of it, it looks strange. She puts a finger to her lips and lets out a shh.
Shh! Trade secret for investors only. You know what isn't a secret, though? How delicious it is! Read the reviews.
She thrusts a long piece of paper in front of my face. Apparently, it's full of real reviews by her customers, written by hand in a messy script. Unique. Tastes like nothing else. Not the worst I've had. I would describe it as edible. A journey into Flavor Town. A must taste. Eat it right now if you can. She withdraws the review scroll.
Come on, it's only 30 Jirok. Savor the flavor. Doesn't it look succulent? Mouth-watering? Doesn't it get that stomach grumbling?
In the worst way. She sure is insistent. I ask myself morbidly, should I buy it? No. From here on, you may encounter situations where you have a limited amount of time to make choices. Okay, guys. This is where we get into the thick of things. To survive, you will need to act fast and think carefully. Alright, rules. There's no pausing in between. We're just going to go through it like a champ. Our brain power is going to work really good. And we're going to not die and not suck. In that order. The penalty for running out of time will vary depending on the situation. So sometimes I should do nothing. In some instances, it may be inconsequential, but others possibly not. Sometimes it may result in instant death. In other instances, Lizzie will have to rely on her gut, and she might make choices you don't want to. Be wise, alert, and cautious. Good luck, and don't forget to save your game often. Oh. Should I buy it? Oh! Yeah, I'm gonna buy it. I knew that this was probably a mistake, but sure, I'll buy it.
Okay, I understand. Wait, you said yes? I mean, of course you did.
I might need it for something.
No refunds.
I'm like, well, how much money might I have anyway? I reluctantly hand her my hard-earned 30 drops. Here, then. She pocketed the money, then handed me that fat slab of her strange meat wrapped in a thin parchment paper. It's already almost transparent with slime. I held the meat in my hand, realizing that I overlooked an important detail. I had nothing to put the meat in. I'd have to put it in one of my pockets. Filled with dread, I slid the parcel of meat into my pocket. I heard a disgusting squishing sound and regretted both the purchase and my very birth instantly.
Anything else I can do for you today?
Yeah, actually, I heard you might be able to help me find some people.
Here for the flesh and for the fresh information. I'm happy to oblige a happy new customer. It's on the house. This time. What would you like to know?
I would have much rather just paid for the information instead. Oh well. I'm looking for two boys. One is named Pucks, the other is named Rich.
Don't know a lot about Pucks. Rich, though. You're in luck. Rich is a friend of mine. Well, an acquaintance. I don't know how he feels about me. I don't want to make assumptions. I like him, though. He's such a soft guy.
I can see her eyelashes flutter wistfully as she thinks about him. Suddenly, she remembers that she's actively being watched by another human being.
No, I didn't mean like that. Like a friendly like. Understand? Anyways, he lives in one of those bunkhouses near the west edge of Florgot. Careful, though. The ACs have been swarming around there lately.
That's odd. The bunkhouses are right near the border between Forgot and Nobai. Aren't they encroaching on Spruce's territory?
Some major shit went down there apparently near the friend shed. Before you get too excited. No, the beast in the shed didn't prove itself real.
The friend shed is kind of a local legend. They say there was a lonely kid that used to hang out near a shed in Nobai, which was the original location for the market district before the Threes Company moved everything. The shed was locked up tight, and no one ever had been inside of it. And yet this lonely kid one day heard a voice coming from it. Someone alive stuck in there that just wanted to have a friend to talk to. The lonely kid spent all of this time up there and at the friend shed, playing and laughing and talking with the friend all day long. He'd get picked on for what appeared to others as him just talking to himself. Any attempt he made to prove that there was a voice in the shed ended in failure, with the voice remaining silent when anybody else was around. The kid didn't need to be believed, though. he had the friend he wanted. But then, apparently, the shed got unlocked. The kid went inside and was never heard from again. It's worth noting that if the shed did unlock, it was locked very soon after, as it's still boarded up tight. I'm sure the kid was real. Urban legends have usually a small nugget of truth in there somewhere. However, I think what really happened to him was that a troop of the AC gang might have simply killed him while trying to rob him. They hid the body, and since the kid didn't have many friends, no one looked. No one tried to find where he was buried, and so his fate instead became part of a tapestry of legend. Kind of sad in a way.
Some dudes got killed. They were an isolated patrol hanging around up there, and they got killed. They don't know who was responsible, but they suspect the killer is hiding out in Fort God. Spruce gave him special permission to do searches in limited areas, so they went there.
Spruce is the unofficial mayor of Fort God, and she's backed by a peacekeeping institution that calls themselves the Four Leaf Clovers. Given the AC's violent tendencies and selling of drugs, they don't get along. So, for her to allow them to look around in Fort God is really abnormal. Something terrible must have happened if she's willing to give them inches.
Personally, I think it might be a ploy they made up so they could slyly expand their reach. But that's just my intuition.
Surprised I didn't hear about any of this until now.
AC's gotta project an aura of being in control if they want people to take them seriously. It makes them look bad if they can't handle some punks slicing their boys apart deep in their own backyard. They're trying to keep it under wraps until they get the guy.
I see. Anyways, back to Rich. Can you tell me where he lives?
Oh, right. Got a map? I can show you where it is.
I hand her my hand-drawn map. She furrows her brow a little at it, but regardless marks a spot with an X.
As for Pops, as I said, I don't know much about him. I think he lives in Junks. But good luck finding him. The place is big and he mostly keeps to himself, it seems. Don't know what kind of brain damage you'd have to live there, though. Maybe that's mean. Something generally might have fallen on his head over there. I probably shouldn't say things like that.
I understand what you mean, though. Odd to want to live in a place where garbage and junk falls from the sky. Not that I have much room to talk, I guess.
Because you live in the shit-yard, right? I feel sorry for your nose. Honestly surprised you don't smell worse.
I have a smell? What? You didn't have to say all that. Anyways, I think I have what I need for now. Thank you so much for your help, Marissa.
No problem.
Okay. It's a slog of a journey to Forgot, and following the vague directions the map provides certainly does not make it any better. I really should make a more detailed map sometime. Why was this place called Forgot anyway? I really wish I remembered. Oh. That was why. See, it's a funny story actually. The story goes that the name comes from a kerfuffle that happened forever ago, back when the originals were laying the foundation of the boarding. By that I don't mean the buildings and stuff. They were found where they are. It wasn't really fit for life though, so the originals were tasked with making it livable. Eventually, when things were settled, the originals began sectioning off the boarding into districts, being named by whoever was appointed to run that particular district. Forgot, before it was named Forgot, was established by Serene Butcher Hodgkins, who was best friends with Junk's founder Possum Brady. Neither were people of good reputations. The two went on a celebratory romp with some jugs of potato rum and their homemade chemical concoction, a drug that would eventually go on to be called canned heat. Anyways, as you might have heard earlier, stuff falls from the sky in Junks. Well, at the time, that had not happened yet. There was garbage there, but no one had ever seen it fall from the sky. Can you see where this is going? A porcelain pug dog, about half the size of a person, fell right on Butcher's head while he was taking a massive huff of canned meat, exploding on impact in a mess of shards. Miraculously, Butcher survived, but with permanent memory loss, and so when it came to officiate the name of the district, they asked him what he would call it. I forgot. I don't really care. And so one of his subordinates got a little creative with the style, and the name Forgot was born. That's cool. Bonus fact, canned heat went on to become an extremely popular substance, as some blame Butcher's survival on the drug's supposed side effect of near invincibility. The AC gang apparently has a cornerstone on that the market and charge a premium for it, though people have made up their own cheaper concoctions in an attempt to approximate it. I don't recommend trying it, especially the homebrew kind. Stuff can melt your nose clean off, and moreover, it does not make you invincible, it just makes you numb to pain, or at least that's Spruce's conclusion on the matter. Sorry, sometimes I have too much fun talking about stuff I've learned. The boarding isn't a nice place to live exactly, but it has character to it. It's historic, especially. I shouldn't waste so much time expositing, though. I'd be in a lot of trouble if I ran into an AC gang patrol. Expositing. Careful to not make much noise, I close the door behind me. No interest is being hassled by ACs. I just want to find Rich and get out of here. Ideally, I should try to not spend too long in one place. I haven't run into anyone yet, but who knows? This building is kind of big. What could be hiding here? Hopefully just Rich. The walls are scuffed and filthy, with peeling paint that flakes off like petals on a dying flower. A musty smell of mold, and mother knows how many years of dust that's been clinging for dear life, waiting for the living to send it flying. Less graffiti than I'd have expected, though. People with creative bones usually get a lot of inspiration from terrible places, it seems like. Well, now there's something. The entrance hallway terminates in this odd junction between rooms, a small set of stairs leading to darkness. The matron's seal has been painted on the wall above in spatters of red paint. I really do not like this place. Something about it makes the hairs on my neck stand at attention. I feel like a rat in a starving cat's house. Nothing to be done, though. I have to keep moving before terror paralyzes me. Ooh, I don't remember ever reading this much in a long time. Immediately, I begin to regret not having, thought to bring my lantern. Already at a fork in the road with each path obscured in shadow. I like it, though. Which way should I go? Okay. This is where the consequences matter. I have no timer on the top, so I have time. Should I go left, go straight towards the center, and go right? First choice, first instinct, I want to just go straight towards the center. Let's go straight. I follow the center path and find nothing but pure darkness. Absolutely cannot see a thing. Now I really wish I'd brought my lantern. The shadow is encompassing and thick like a sauce. I feel as if I can feel it. It's sticking to me and my clothes. I feel like I'm being soaked to the bone in shade, a film of black mucus clinging to my clothes and skin. And yet I feel compelled to keep moving. And so I walk. And 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 walk. Suddenly, light, faintly from dying bulbs, mounted to the wall, but light nonetheless. This place could certainly use some color. I really don't like it here. From what I can see, the tunnels continued forward. Which way should I go? The door on the... Okay, I'm not going to go back the way I came. I could keep following the tunnel, and I see down there's a light. Or I could go to the door on the right. There's a lock there. So I wonder if I could even get in. I think I'm gonna try to open the door. I'm gonna go to the door on the... No! I didn't think it would open. The room is starkly empty. It is coldly lit by an unfailing bulb in the ceiling. On the ground in the center is a pile of bloody minced flesh, the blood seeping out of it and soaking into the concrete. The room stinks of pennies, pungent enough that if it tickles my tongue too. The taste of red life essence, the tips of an iron ballerina's toes tapping gracefully across the taste buds. But the worst of it all, to me, is that I am not alone in this room. There is someone else. Ah! That was creepy. I raised my hands up to defend myself and shut my eyes in terror. I cannot bear to face what's about to happen to me. No! Then, nothing. But when I lower my arm, I'm suddenly back here. The way I went, it's blocked up solid. It looks so old, too, like it's always been that way. Was that a daydream? Or am I dreaming now? I pinch myself. Ow, no, I am awake. I have to collect myself, catch my breath. I really am not sure what just happened at all. Frankly, I am terrified and unsettled, but I also know that standing around won't give me answers, nor will it get me any closer to finding Rich. I need to move before something like that happens again. Which way should I go? Shit, I can't go straight anymore. Ah! I messed up. I'm gonna go left. I find myself trudging down a very dark hallway, only faintly lit by a light at the end of the hall. I walk slowly and carefully, trying to avoid any obstacles obscured by darkness, with my hands crawling the wall like spiders for guidance. The texture is rough beneath my fingertips, oddly comforting. As I make my way towards the light at the end, my hands reach into nothingness, which nearly causes me to panic and fall. I couldn't see it at first, but there was a path hiding to the right, waiting in ambush. Nothing there I can see except more shadow. Soft darkness awaits for me to wade its waters. If I go down that direction anyways. Okay. The dark hall to the right. I want to go towards the light, but why do I feel like this is a trick question? This got interesting now. Like, after all the dialogue, it's got interesting. I want to... I'm going to go towards the light. Oh! The lit room at the end of the hallway is a dead end. A surprisingly large room with nothing in it. It's probably some kind of storage room. I'm surprised no one's made it their home, though. People kill each other in brick-town over rooms a quarter this size. Huh. There was a hole in the wall here, apparently. Did it used to lead somewhere? Doesn't matter now, I guess. I should go back the other way, down that side hall. Nothing for me this direction. I think that, but then something catches my eye. Oh, one of those heartbeat listening things. Odd place for one of these to be, though. Maybe Spruce might want it. I should take it with me. Reach my head towards it. Something in the air. An ugly buzz that hovers just above the quiet. A tremor in the air around my hand. Before I can pull back, I've already picked it up. No. A sterile room. Sits in a nexus for the lost and destitute. A woman sits there, a bundle of nerves. Her eyes scan the room. The walls are barren, save for that strange symbol that the nexus for the lost and destitute had a fixation for. The cabinets to the other side of the room must be full of that shit they inject into you when you overdose. An undo button of sorts, she thinks to herself. The girl ponders how much money must have been spent in vain in attempts to prolong the lives of people like herself. People so hopelessly stuck in their own brains or in the cruel chemistry of their own bodies that they cannot help but pursue self-destruction. People who carelessly treat their lives just as disposable as a tissue. People willing to burn every bridge, turn over every stone, leverage every asset, all for just one more time. Hospitals and medicine, as far as Loretta's was concerned, were for people far more deserving. People that will actually get better. People that actually want to get better. Not filled like her. Part of her wishes her mother had just given up on her for her own good. Then, it would be way easier for Loretta to kill herself in peace with a cosmic high so strong it could pulverize her soul into shards of glass and fry her brain like an omelet, and her useless, selfish little heart could finally rest. That kind of death, or even better, a world where she simply never existed. These kind of thoughts were medicinal to Loretta. When things were at the worst, she simply could retreat into reality where she simply never was, and those that she hurt would live unsullied, beautiful lives, where every goal was achieved, goals impeded by Loretta's existence. And who knows, maybe if she found a place where no one could find her, she could turn this world into that reality yet, with one beautiful explosion of euphoric chemicals that would make rock stars blush. Then her thoughts interrupted. Her door opens. A doctor walks in, his face stiff, lips pressed in a small, tight frown. He's rehearsed in a mirror, but performance anxiety still grips him.
So, what's wrong with me, Doc? Sheena's been saying it's just withdrawal, but this doesn't feel like it. I'm worried it's something worse.
I'm not sure how to tell you this, Loretta, but you're pregnant.
She looks at the doctor, struck with consternation.
What?
You're pregnant. We'll have to do an ultrasound to figure out how long you've been pregnant for, but pregnant all the same.
How is this possible? How could I not know?
It's rare, but still more common than you might realize. It's called a cryptic pregnancy.
The woman's brain explodes in panic pulses of memory, dingy rooms, memories of pills, burning nostrils, enough to kill a racehorse. A friend remarks, amazed you're still breathing.
There's no way. There's absolutely no way.
Would you like me to show you the blood test results?
Yes. More memories assault her mind. I don't care if it kills me. It's one less shitty person in the world. It's the only thing that helps anymore. Leave me alone. I'll do whatever you want. I need it. Please. It's my life to ruin, not yours.
Fuck you and your tests. You're lying to me. You're fucking with me.
Loretta, I'm really sorry you had to find out like this, but it's the truth. You're going to have a baby.
I just say it like that. The doctor's face is stone. He's as serious as he can be.
There's no fucking way.
Do you need a moment to yourself?
Yeah. Yes, please.
The doctor goes to leave. He stops, looks back at the woman for a moment, then he leaves, closing the door behind him. The woman is alone. She feels more alone than she ever has before. She feels like a brick drowning slowly. Beside you in time. What the heck was that? Wow. I think I've gone insane, or am I on the cusp of it? Lovely. Cusp. Do I even want to try to make sense of what I just saw? Later, in a place that's less creepy than this, preferably. I go back and head down the side hall I walked past before. The side hall into darkness eventually leads me to an edge that's lit by a small window with a single doorway. Glimpsing out the window, I think I'm on the second or third floor. It's a little hard to tell for sure. Wasn't I just underground or something? Didn't even go up any stairs. This building doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Come to the river, pick yourself a body bag? More artwork too. These drawings seem to mostly be done with chalk or very thin paint. Some of it seems to glow faintly in the dark. A message too. Come to the river, pick yourself a body bag. Doesn't even look like a bee. I really shouldn't stick around long, but for some reason I feel like I want to examine this room closer. What should I do? I'll examine. I can't help it. I have to look around here. Something's calling me. I look around carefully, shuffling around pieces of broken glass, torn carpet, assorted trash left behind. Signs of life long moved on. Now I'm paying more attention. There's an odor in here. It's faint, but with glimpses of it, my nostrils are repulsive. Oh, dang, there's a penis over there. How horrible. What the fuck is this? I mean, frick, fuck. What the heck? I nearly jump out of my own skin at the sight of a desiccated skeleton of something, a rat maybe. Who knows how long that's been there. Next to it is a note scrawled on dirty cardboard in a mannequin. I'm too curious. I've spent this long searching on nothing but a hunch. Maybe the note's what I'm looking for. I hadn't eaten in weeks. My stomach hurts a lot. I found a dead rat. Probably scurried away from the butcher. Clawed at these walls till it died hungry. Itchy, scratchy. No one found it in the dark except for flies and me. The flies ate and ate and ate and fucked and ate and laid eggs all inside its guts. Dead and rotting, its eyes melted out of its head. Lots of eggs, yummy eggs, dotting its skin like grains of rice. I ate it. My tummy stopped turning. I feel alive again. But now my stomach is going buzzy, buzzy. Buzzy, 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 buzzy. Something's coming. Hold on. I don't trust it. That's too much buzzies. Guys. Hold on. Okay. I regret doing this. Drop the filthy note on the ground and begin to walk away before the light catches my eye. Shine that pokes my retina for attention. Retina. It looks like some kind of pamphlet. Is the Mother Matron symbol? That's that doing there? What? Reaching my hand towards it, something in the air, an ugly buzz that hovers just above the quiet, a tremor in the air around my hand. Before I can pull back, I've already picked up the paper. Ah, it's gonna take me back. It told me to save often, so I wonder if I have to pause to save. A hallway. It sits in a nexus for a lost dust stew. Shelter for the broken and vulnerable that can't let go. In that same hallway on a wooden chair sits a woman. She has dark, messy hair, a t-shirt bearing artwork commemorating the tour of a long-forgotten band from decades ago. The radio stopped whispering their tunes, but in her mind they're full volume on repeat. Background noise to a party that she wishes never stopped. Good times, long gone. She looks to a pamphlet she was handed during orientation. Not even worth the paper it's printed on, she thinks to herself. She throws the pamphlet into the trash can down the hall with a fox with a faux basketball toss and size. Sorry, guys. She has not noticed, but a younger girl with blonde hair and a sweater has taken the seat next to her. She sits there idly for a moment. She sits there, expecting the dark-haired woman to acknowledge her. However, the woman with dark hair is lost in space, at least 2 minutes into a song about someone in the corner, in a spotlight, losing their religion. The world around her might as well not even have existed. Unfettered, the girl with the blonde hair and the sweater speaks.
So, what are you here for?
The girl is unflappable.
That's okay. You don't have to tell me.
No pause then.
Meth.
Huh?
That's what I'm here to kick. Wasn't my idea, but my folks got worried about me. What? Expecting someone more ghoulish?
No, it's not that.
I'm just teasing you.
She was oddly plucky, and she did not immediately seem to exhibit the signs of long-term meth use. God, I think the voice earlier made my throat itchy. Compared to friends the dark-haired girl had in the past that were on it, she'd kept herself together rather well. Maybe it was that sickeningly positive attitude. Though now that the cat was out of the bag, there was a slight gauntness to her cheeks, a tiredness to her eyes. Suddenly, the subtle details became more obvious. The woman with the dark hair is pensive. The armor on her tongue suddenly cracks as the blonde girl looks at her warmly.
Oxy. My mom dropped me off here.
I see. That's rough. A cousin of mine died from that stuff.
The plucky girl nods in understanding. She flashes a bright smile at the girl with the dark hair.
What's your name?
The girl waits a moment, thoughtful, then.
Loretta.
I'm Sheena. Nice to meet you.
Okay, so I'm seeing Loretta's memories? What in the world? Where was that? When was that? Why did I see that? Am I losing it? I should get moving. This place is getting to me. I gotta get rich. I gotta get rich. Gotta get rich and get out of here. Through the dark, I find a winding stairwell looming into a void. When you read so long, your lips get stuck. After following a winding staircase which had a strange absence of landings, I finally reach its bottom. The acid in my legs is burning brilliantly after all those stairs, though I am thankful they were downward. Ahead is a small room, fortunately brightly lit by light from the outside. Ah, this place seems a little better. The warmth of the light coming in from the windows is comforting. From what I can see here, there's a bathroom to my left and a door at the end of the hall. What should I do? The door to the left. The bathroom. Why do I feel like the bathroom is a death sentence? I'm gonna examine the door. You know, call me crazy if you want, but I have a good feeling about this door. Oh, mother, I really am going crazy. Oh, mother. Get it together, Lizzie, get it together. I knock on the door gently. Hello? Is anyone hit?
Yeah, I'm here.
Wow. You kind of gave me a heads up with the hit and then the stop. I shrieked and stumbled backwards. Where the hell, I mean heck, did you come from? Sorry, I was sleeping.
That's weird.
You smell kind of funny. What is that smell? The flank of bizarre steak in my pocket oozes. Without thinking, I almost tell him about the amount of flesh in my pocket, but then the shame of having to justify having purchased it stills my lips. That's not important. Where were you sleeping at? You popped up out of nowhere, scared me half to death. Oh, over there? He gestures to a small, cramped-looking hole in the northern wall. Is there a bed in there or something?
No.
So, you don't sleep in a bed? Just in a little hole in the wall? Yes. He fidgets a little. Why do they only talk sometimes and not all the time? It's confusing. I had one for a while, but a couple of those AC gang guys came by and took it. And then not that I minded. They needed a place to sleep. I'm happy to help. Grass just fine for me. Did they threaten you?
I'm fine.
Oh, not at all. Oh, that's good. They just kept punching me over and over until I gave it to them. They didn't bother threatening me. This poor kid. I don't recommend taking the chair, by the way. Makes your tailbone hurt after a few minutes. Also, the one leg just likes to come off sometimes, but you can slap it back on. Before it showed your name was Rich, and now it's back to question marks. What? The table is good, though. I'd really like to keep that, but if it stops you from punching me, I don't mind giving it to you. Please leave the blanket here, though. I don't like eating off the floor, and last week The neighbor brothers lost their frisbee, so I had to give them my play. I'm not here to take your stuff. Oh, you're not? That's a relief. What are you here for then? I explained how I got the letter from the Mother Matron and needed to find the boys she mentioned in the letter. Oh, I got one of those letters too. Glad you found me. I wasn't really sure what I was going to do about that. I thought about just heading out to the Mother Matron's tower, but he nervously tries to peer behind me. They were still around earlier. You didn't run into any of those ACs, did you? Oh, no. No, I didn't. I think it's safe to leave now. I pondered telling him about some other things I saw on the way here, but he'd probably think I was insane. You're rich, right?
My name is Rich, but I don't have any money or anything.
Again, not here to take things from you. I literally just told you I came here because of a letter. Ah, right. Sorry. Force of habit. Nice to meet you. Pucks, I'm guessing. No, my name is Lizzie. Weird, you look like a Pucks.
This is strange.
Not sure how to take that, but okay. I'm guessing that means you don't know who he is or where he is. Nope, not at all. Why does he sound so proud when he says that? Great. I'm sorry. No, it's okay. We'll just have to go look for him then. How about we head to the market? I kind of worked up an appetite trying to find him. Sure, that sounds great. Let's go. Rich leads the way out through the building. It's along the way that something unnerves me. By just coming back the way I came, I did not enter the same room. I was back at that one hallway from before the junction, with the symbol painted on the wall. I freeze. A cold sweat breaks out on my forehead. Am I sick? Hey Lizzie, what you doing? Something wrong? Nothing. I'm coming. Just got a little lost is all. I trot along trying to shake the anxiety off me like cobwebs. Still lingers below the surface. Detuned Radiohead. At the market we both realized I was storm-stricken, so I decided to buy us lunch. We made our way to the market and approached my favorite food stand, which sat far away from Meaty Marissa's booth of mystery meat and soul skews. Hardly I could almost swear I still felt her gaze. Oh, she's over there. She's keeping her distance, but I can see her watching from behind a barrel. She's laser focused on Rich and has not noticed that I haven't noticed her. Oh well, I think she's harmless. She's leaving us alone for now, at least. I think she just wants to ogle her crush. Certainly will be better equipped to deal with anything that might happen on a full stomach, at the least. The delightful smell of grilled rat and vegetables make it way up my nose and tickles the parts of my brain that cause my mouth to salivate. The strange slimy meat sticking up my pocket made my stomach churn and twist like a writhing worm. Thusly, I decided to go vegetarian that day. It's almost carrot and potato. Rich, beaming and blissfully ignorant of Meaty Marissa's shop before us, ordered a rat skewer. Oh wow, thank you so much. I don't know how I'll pay you back. But if I take too long, just keep your punches to my body and not my face. I have real bad toothaches as it is. Jeez, this kid. You don't owe me anything. It's a get to know you present. I had some extra allowance anyway. That was a complete lie. The allowance part, I mean. But I wanted to be nice anyway. Besides, who knew if I'd even lived to use whatever allowance I had after this ordeal was done. I looked to Rich. He was eating as if he hadn't eaten in weeks. Perhaps he hadn't. So, you're absolutely sure you don't want know anyone next Pucks? Nope, not at all. I am extremely positive. Why does he still sound so proud when he says that? So we still don't have any leads. Who else could we ask? What is it, Rich? Did you hear something? Huh? The heck? Strange flying thing nearly cracked right into Rich's head, but fortunately stopped short. Looking closer at it, it seemed like it's made of metal and plastic. What the heck is this thing?
Birdie.
I think it's a bird. I'm gonna call him Birdie. Rich, that's not a bird. Look at it. It flies. Of course it's a bird. I suddenly had a headache. The little flying machine then made a weird chirping noise and rotated slightly back and forth. It almost looked as if it was beckoning us, albeit crudely. Look, the bird wants to show us something. Rich, this isn't a bird. Wait for me, Birdie. Tweet, 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 tweet. Lizzie, it's not listening to me. I'm gonna go catch it. Huh? What? Wait a minute. Just like that, machine and Rich took off. Hey, wait for me. The strange metal flying machine weaves its way through the air of junks with a boat-like grace, listening to and fro through the gusts of wind. Rich continues to chase and shout wildly with reckless abandon, not even considering that any moment a 10-ton metal dumpster full of garbage and scrap could land right on his very head. No one has an explanation for it, but the District OF junks, originally established by Possum Brady, who always felt more at home amongst piles of trash and filth, had dangerous characteristics. Unpredictably, things fall from the sky here, from a source that no one has been able to determine, like rain, but pulpier, and sometimes deadlier. Sometimes you're lucky, the only thing that lands on you is some moldy fruit, maybe some bags of animals' feces. Other times, you would get the shell of a car landing on your head, or shards of glass. One time I saw a bowling ball. I mentioned the porcelain pug of legend earlier. This isn't to say there isn't a reason to come to junks, or rather that people don't find a reason. If you're persistent and know what to look for, one can find things of extraordinary value, or things that can be polished to valuable. Components for machines, clothes, sometimes preserved food, cans, plastic wraps. I found some comic books here once. It was about a young man that had a violent alien being possessed his hand, and the two had to learn to coexist. The world seemed a lot nicer than mine, to be honest. Evil Dead. I stopped following Rich for a moment. Why am I pursuing this with such drive? My chances of survival are close to none. If the legends are to be believed, a horrible, unspeakable character, or one so unspeakable as to render all who encounter it speechless, awaits me. If I stood here long enough, I could simply wait for oblivion to find me in the whole ordeal right here. Just close my eyes and breathe, and life will have come and gone in a flash. You'll make it back in one piece, even if you don't believe it. I do. I believe in you, Lizzie. For what it's worth, if anyone was to ever make it back, I think it would be someone like you. I must rely on my children's support to do what must be done for the collective good. What was I doing? I can't lose myself. I have to keep strong. There's more important things at stake. I'm scared beyond belief, but just lying down to die isn't how I want to go. I have friends that believe me. I have to help the collective. Whatever that ends up meaning is clearly important. I look up, Rich is far away, but I can still see him. If I start sprinting now, I think I can still catch up. Slap my cheeks. Pause. Scan the sky for any garbage rain and take off after him. Then I fall on my face. Ow! Huh? It's a paper cup. Nothing really unusual about that, especially not here. And yet, I'm drawing it for some reason. Why is that? I want to look at it, though. I can't really tell you why. I can't give you a reason. I should either. Rich is running away, and I could lose him. Should I look at it? I have to save. There we go. Alright, guys. This game is longer. Looks like a lot longer than I'm anticipating. But it's starting to get to the good parts. I need to take a little break because my voice is getting quite parched. But I'm going to continue playing this to see the full end. But it's getting more interesting. It takes some time to come in, but I like the nuances and the weird stuff that's going on. I just want to know what happens when I get to the, get towards the end of this. I want to see what creatures awaits us. If you like this video, drop a like. Let me know what you think about this game down in the comments. And if you know or played this game before, let me know if I could have done anything back at his apartment that I didn't check, and I'm pretty sure the bathroom would have been a death trap. So yeah, that's gonna do it for this episode. As always, this is Papa Scarce. I'll see you guys in the next one.